Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. First off, want to say apologize for the delay in getting up some videos. Been traveling with the family for the last couple of days. Finally made it to our landing spot here in Philadelphia, visiting some family and friends, and just getting to see some people for the next couple of weeks. So today is it's kind of a fitting topic. Wanted to talk a little bit about the situation that's been going on in Philadelphia. For those of you who don't know, a portion of I-95 in the northeast section of the city collapsed due to a fuel tanker truck exploding underneath and melting the steel beams underneath the highway, causing the highway to collapse. I believe one person did not survive. I believe it was the driver who didn't survive. But we're going to talk a little bit about John Fetterman. John Fetterman, who is a senator out of Pennsylvania, was speaking in the Senate Environmental Committee, and he was asked to make comments regarding I-95 and the tragic event that took place. So we're just going to get right into it. We're going to react to John Fetterman, and buckle up. This one's not pretty. Sorry, a little delay here.
Thank you, Senator Sullivan. And Senator Fetterman, you're next. And if, no, actually, Senator Fetterman, you are recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming. We had earlier today some
I just feel like Fetterman has like no emotion whatsoever. Like he just doesn't, and that could be due to his stroke. But I've seen videos of him prior to his stroke, and he doesn't seem very personable.
some comments about the tragic accident in on 995, and if you want to make any comments with respect to that, feel free. You're recognized.
No, I would.
Nah, I don't want to make any comments today. Forget about the people who are, experiencing traffic nightmares heading to and from work. Forget that. Nah, I don't want to make any comments.
Just really like to, the 95, 95, 95.
Let's tell a little story about 95, 95, and 95.
You know, obviously that you're pretty much preoccupied with 95.
What the fuck? Listen, people of PA, people of my hometown, what in the holy hell were you thinking voting for that guy right there? Why? You couldn't find anybody better to vote for other than this guy right here, who is completely useless and shouldn't be serving in any sort of office. Probably can't even work a real job, let alone make decisions that affect people's livelihoods. Shame on you. Shame on you. This is ridiculous.
And I know I certainly am too, and we know it's a major eatery, not just for Pennsylvania, but for the East Coast.
What's an artery? You mean an artery?
And a lot of Pennsylvanians are worried that the delays in repairs bring to its standstill deal. I'm glad to see last night you were so quick to get $3 million.
What does that have anything to do with anything? That makes no sense.
To the emergency relief funds got out so quickly. Just personally, like, it just seemed $3 million wasn't enough. I mean, it seems like it's going to be even a lot more expensive than that.
If I was the person on this panel, I would literally look at Fetterman and be like, can you re-explain? Or does Fetterman even have like a translator? Because this is sad. The fact that the Democrats would put a guy up like this is sad, insulting to people, and the fact that people actually voted for this is despicable.
but I get the sense, President Biden, I was standing next to a collapsed bridge in western Pennsylvania, and things moved on really quickly and got it down. And I'm confident that the same is going to happen, in East Pennsylvania as well.
He has no idea what he's talking
But
about.
right now,
He's
you
totally
have an incredible asset in SEPTA, and it's the regional rail and subway
SEPTA.
lines that I think could be
Doesn't
a
even
game
know.
changer if SEPTA still needs support to expand temporary capacity to ease congestion on the roads. And my question to you, Administrator, could you emergency relief on other funds at your agency could help SEPTA's temporary operating costs to make transit a viable alternative for local travel? And will you commit to working with Secretary to get the SEPTA support in the next few weeks?
Thank you, Senator, and I know how important this project is, and Chairman Carper.
You can tell like he's trying to this Shaolin bot. He looks like he's trying to wrap his mind around with what he just heard. He has no clue how he's going to respond, but I could tell he's going to wing it. But nobody in their right mind knows what the hell Fetterman just said.
Harper had reached out to me on Sunday, and I know had connected us. I know you're very engaged on this. With specifically to the $3 million.
There's nothing engaging about John Fetterman. The guy doesn't engage in anything. He has no idea where he is. He's like Joe Biden.
On the quick release, all of the costs of this will be borne through the emergency relief program. The $3 million is sort of a down payment. It's about a 10% estimate of what they think they're going to need. If that number goes up, we'll provide more funding. But that was the reason for the $3 million. Specifically on SEPTA, I was with Leslie Richards, who's the general manager of SEPTA yesterday. Secretary Buttigieg was briefed on that. And again, back to this concept of following the law.
Great.
Federal Highway ER funds specifically relate.
Secretary Buttigieg was briefed. Yeah, he'll just sit back and do nothing. That's what he always does. He's a do nothing.
To added.
He's what we call a checkbox employee. He filled a certain role. He filled a certain criteria, and he checked the box. That's why he was hired.
Capacity on SEPTA, and we are working to stand that up. Secretary Buttigieg has also asked us to look with FTA what provisions they may have, but SEPTA is a critical link here for that corridor.
Yeah. Yeah.
While I'm here, I also want to talk about the federal government's dragging its feet in implementing expert advice and making streets safer as well. And I reached out twice to express my concerns about the actions of your agency should be taking, making streets safe, and frustration delays have been witnessing with some key guidelines. When can we expect that these actions will be finalized and will commit to working with my office to address the concerns that I've raised?
This is painful.
Thank you, Senator. I think Secretary Buttigieg is very clear that safety is our #1 priority, and as part of the National Roadway Safety Strategy, safe streets, safe design, safer speeds, these are all things that we talk about incessantly within federal highways. So,
forget about federal highways in Philadelphia. Let's talk about crime. How about getting the crime level down, the homicide level down? How about let's stop mom and pop stores from getting robbed. Let's stop these stores from getting robbed and law enforcement not being able to do anything about it.
happy to follow up with your staff around any concerns you may have raised so that we can more quickly deploy safety in our system.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So that's just one piece of it. So as you know, Fetterman and Joe Biden hooked up. They linked up, and it was not fun. I mean, it's fun for me to watch, but it's not. I don't know if it's fun for the people who are relying on these folks for help. It's not very much. It's not very fun for them. But let's take a look at this video here. and we'll watch. We'll watch again. Look at John Fetterman. John, it just this guy is just an absolute putz. Zero. Like what a joke. What an absolute joke. Like who shows up to work in a hoodie and a pair of shorts? It makes no sense to me. But let's take a look at this interview, back and forth, and the comments from John Fetterman and Joe Biden. They were in Philadelphia, talking about again the I-95 recovery effort and getting the highway fixed. So let's take a look here. Sorry, little delays, different setup.
The president and I were standing right next to each other at a collapsed bridge in western Pennsylvania, a bridge that I drove over just the night before with my young son. And he showed up with just hours after that bridge collapsed there. And he promised to make sure that any resources that they needed and any help and support. And guess what? That bridge was rebuilt less than a year, well in front of time. And again, and now
this is just absolutely brutal to watch. Like I don't understand it. People of Pennsylvania, why would you do this? Serious question. Put it in the comment section below. Why would you vote for this? I'm just blown away by it. This is a guy who's making laws, writing laws for you to follow. This guy right here.
Now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here, and he
he just called the president a collapsed bridge.
He is here to work with the governor and
the governor's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Sure
look at this guy back here. Just look at this guy back here.
This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of a law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across America getting rebuilt. It's a pleasure to be here and to introduce my friend Congressman Boyle Bile.
Wow. So, people, please, if you're in Pennsylvania, please, something's got to be done by John Fetterman. He's not working for you. And I don't mean that he's physically not working. He can't physically work for you. The guy cannot put a sentence together, almost to the point where he is worse than Joe Biden. So, at any rate, people of Pennsylvania, I pray for you. I hope that, the I-95 collapse gets resolved quickly. I hope that they rebuild it as quickly as they can, so people can get back to their normal lives. I've firsthand experienced this coming from the Philly airport to where I'm at today. And I just hope that, again, your lives get back to normal. If you enjoyed this video, again, sorry about the background noise. A lot going on here. I got my kids are home from school and summer vacation, and they're hanging out and they're playing downstairs. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button. We certainly appreciate it as it helps the growth of the channel. And again, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Please leave a comment down below and let us know what you think about John Fetterman. And, we'll talk in the next one. Thanks, guys. See you next time.